So I noticed, Sarah, that there are three ways to use remembering when that are really freaking cool. And it never has anything to do with the words. So, number one, Neville Goddard says to remember when she was single by imagining that she is married. And I find a couple ways to play with this. Number one, uh, I can just imagine she's married by changing how I feel. Because when she was single, like this is the reaction I had, and this is what I worried about, but I don't anymore. Hmm. But I can remember when I was like that. Notice I'm making action of self predominant. And that's really important because Neville Goddard says action of self predominant and to imagine what implies your wish is fulfilled. So, number two, uh, I can remember when I was the gimp stick guy. And everywhere I went, I had a gimp stick. Now, what's really, really cool is I needed a gimp stick yesterday. Swear to God. And I sprained my foot and I could barely walk. I was only about 70% weight bearing. So, finding the old gimp stick and using it, it felt very unnatural to me. And so I could remember when the stick was a natural part of my life, the natural part of my day. I built my day around, literally, I built systems on how to use it. And I had to figure out how to use the damn thing, how to carry my coffee, how to, like what to do when I put it in the car. It was unnatural. So I can remember when it was natural for me to have a gimp stick all the time. And by the way, I haven't needed it today. Yesterday, when I was using it, I was feeling as if I I could remember when I needed that gimp stick because I injured my foot. I could just explore that feeling while using the gimp stick, and that just shifted it into the past, and my foot is healed up very nicely. I mean, it was really swollen yesterday. It hurt bad. Uh, but I'm not gonna project through time, and this is a big thing right here. When we're remembering when, we're putting something into the past. I'm going to show you one more way in a few moments, but I'm putting into the past uh, my reactions to using the gimp stick. Because I had a reaction or two that wasn't all that favorable. Like, what if I need it tomorrow? What if it gets worse? And that's mental. And imaginal always trumps mental. So if I can feel that into the past, that reaction, the use of the gimp stick. So I'm remembering when mentally I was upset about it. I'm remembering physically when I was using it. But here's the one that almost nobody's teaching. And I use this whenever I went from needing not one but two hip replacements because my left hip was stabby stabby every step and my right hip was clunkety clunky every step. And I started remembering, well, I noticed I was naturally remembering being the Karate Kid, being able to do all kind of cool shit with my body and loving it. And that was using remembering when as a weapon because it was like those days were over. And here's the big key. I couldn't remember when I was the guy with the gimp stick, and immediately my whole body started to transform. And yes, it took a while, but it was immediate. I felt like a different guy. And the body caught up with the different guy I've chosen to be, which is the Kung Fu King. What's really important with this is can you remember when someone was happy for you? Can you remember anyone congratulating you on something or giving you a compliment? Because if you can remember when you got a compliment and find that feeling, you can use that feeling as a resource state. And the resource state is can you imagine compliments? I got two compliments the other day at the pool. One from a fella, Andrew, who just came back from Texas. He went to Austin, Texas. I told him where to go and what to do. He had a great time. And he just stared at me. He says, "Tony, you are looking really, really fit." And I really appreciated that. And another lady who I haven't seen in years, I used to see her when we would walk the pups. She just kept telling me, "Tony, you look so great. You look really great," because she knew me at my worst. And those came from me remembering when I was complimented on my body. Because I was like a pro athlete when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. And so if I can remember when I was getting those compliments and move them into the present, I'm remembering. I'm bringing some stuff together. When? Into the present moment. So this one's got a bit of a twist to it. And what's really, really cool is, what if I never got a compliment on having a nice car? Because I had shit cars when I was younger. And I can remember when I started getting compliments on cars, because even back in the States, I started buying 3 Series Bimmers for the price of a used Chevy. And that's become a pattern of mine. But I can remember when I bought shit cars for shit car prices and got shit cars. That was a long time ago. But I can also start remembering when, in a different way, I was the guy that started getting compliments. And that's what I'll project into the future. Nice car. Looking good, 20. Great video. My name is Mr. 2020. This is the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only, the wonder-working power of the human imagination. If you got gold today, I invite you to manifestingmasterydeluxe.com, because it's just a cool little 90-day adventure where we keep exploring what never gets boring. And instead of trying to solve a problem with a technique, turning the tools into a technique, I find exploring the tools teach you principles, and you can take the principles we just shared and apply them wildly in your life. And by the way, you could remember when, I was trying to use this to solve a problem, to change how I felt about myself even. And I can remember when I stopped doing that, and I just started playing heaps. Remembering when I was so serious, remembering when I felt like I had to persist, versus remembering now who I am and how this works. Have a great day. See ya.